Welcome to the replay, where we replay and reply to questions from advice columns out in the world. My brain is mush. We are the first husband and wife podcasters. I'm Eric Silver.
I'm Amanda McLoughlin, the wife.
That wife.
I said to Eric the other day, Eric, people love to make content about their bisexual wives on TikTok.
They do.
And if you ever wanted to do that about me, your bisexual wife, you should talk about how my favorite thing to do is to hold one thing too many. I'd rather hold one thing too many and drop them all than make two trips between, say, I don't know, the kitchen sink and the couch 10 feet away where I'm sitting. And Eric every time is gently like, honey, do you want help? And I'm like, no. And that's a very bisexual instinct. Anyway.
No, it makes sense. I think it's very straightforward. It's just like, TikTok meme format.
Yeah.
The thing is, I need to catch you in the moment doing it.
You do.
I'm not.
And you would never film me unawares. Like, that's just.
No, I'm not good at filming things that need to be on TikTok, but you see the shot, right? And the thing that you always need to remember, there is a person holding their phone out in the background of every single one of these shots, and I'm not ready to be that person just yet.
I know. It's like the early days of food photography where you would see somebody in a restaurant like taking a photo on their phone and be like, oh wow, how cringy. But like people do that. Like that happens all the time. When I was a vlogger, I would vlog in public. People would be like, what the fuck is that? And like the new version of that is, someone has a phone on a tripod or a buddy holding it and like they do something. Like it is what it is. But yeah, it's a difficult thing to get comfortable with.
I just don't know if I'm ready because I still feel like that person is cringy. Right?
Yeah.
Like you're going out of your way to film something. And also, the feeling of looking at someone filming you is still so chilling to me. I'm like, you're going to put this on World Star Hip Hop, and it's going to be so bad. I'm not ready.
Well, Eric, MTV's ridiculousness is single-handedly saving cable.
Stop.
So, it's a professional hazard. It's true.
Oh, you mean sentient emoji Chanel West Coast?
Mm-hmm.
Someone who has absolutely no personality, who might not speak English. She might just go, haha, yeah.
I don't know, but the writing staff is unionized, so good for them.
They're single-handedly propping up MTV,
yes.
So they deserve it.
Yes, someone show me the pie chart of ad revenue for MTV per program. Ridiculous. This is at least 15-20%. I'm telling you right now.
Rob Drydeck is stealing the value of the unions. Nothing is funnier to me than like hearing someone come in from like NBA Twitter for me and being like, yeah, NBA players should be paid so much more, and here's why. There was a recent episode where like a grad student at the Naval Academy did a paper talking about the value that certain players bring in and what their proposed salary should be.
Oh my God.
It's like, well, LeBron James brings in $280 million of value to the NBA, and his salary is like, I'm 15, I think, or 20, right?
Yeah.
But also because there's salary caps and maximums for how much people will be paid. And I'm like, you are so close, NBA nerd of the Naval Academy, to saying, to going full Karl Marx. You are so close.
The worker should own the means of production.
It's
what?
Do you mean the means of production? Like a Google search that said the means of production? Did you mean that? I was just waiting for it.
Have you ever seen that, Eric, on Instagram, where you'll see like a quote in like an Instagram graphic, and then the next slide is like, that was Karl Marx in 1885. Nothing has changed.
No, I haven't seen that, but that makes sense to me.
That's a lot of my Instagram.
I like the idea of like Canva-ing
Karl
Marx quotes.
Yeah.
That's pretty good.
Like, inequality will only ever rise. And it's like, that's true. And then the next slide, reveal Karl Marx.
It was Karl Marx the whole time.
Yeah.
Just because they used the Canva template, you didn't know.
Exactly.
But I thought that was funny. Yeah, I think the writers are rising up against Rob Drydeck and MTV, and I really appreciate that. They don't know that they're doing it, but they are certainly making people who do not deserve it, who are like Chanel West Coast, who was just Rob Drydeck's assistant on Fantasy Factory. Do you know anything about Rob Drydeck?
No.
Do the listeners know anything about Rob Drydeck?
Nothing.
Okay, you might remember him from Robin Big, which was a reality show on MTV, because Rob Drydeck was a famous skateboarder.
Hang on, is he the one with the weird face who hosts Ridiculousness?
Yes.
Okay,
yes,
sorry,
that's
not
why I'm
weird. He's a former skateboarder. His face is
No, he has a weird face.
He has a weird face.
Yeah, and he wears like skater, and he's like one of those guys.
He's a grown man who looks like a middle school boy.
Right, because he wears skater attire and he's 50.
Yes.
But because he got famous from it, he's allowed.
Yes,
right?
unlike TJ, who is aged into his peacoat era.
Well, because TJ Lavin got so many concussions. So he's like, I can't do the BMX anymore. I need to be an adult.
Yeah.
I need to host the challenge. Okay, so Rob Dyrdek was a skateboarder. He then founded a skate apparel company.
Sure.
And then he had a reality show called Robin Big, where him and his security guard, Big Black, had a reality show. And he died recently. Because he was a, 6 foot something, 400-pound guy.
So big that your heart can't reach all
so
the parts.
big your heart can't reach it. Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
And he was incredible. R.I.P. Big Black. What a funny, sweet man.
Oh.
So now Rob Dyrdek did this thing called Fantasy Factory. I think was just another MTV reality show about his office, because his office, he just bought a massive warehouse and then just turned it into like a skateboard gymnasium, which is also ostensibly their office, right?
I see.
And now Rob Dyrdek is even more famous because of Ridiculousness, which is just a clip show of people getting hurt.
It's America's Funniest Home Videos, but the Kick in the Nuts
MTV
version.
2000 edition. Yeah, exactly. And one of the people who's always on there is this woman named Chanel West Coast, who has no personality.
Oh.
She's just an attractive woman.
But was she literally his assistant and then got...
Yes.
Oh, boy.
Yes, she was his assistant and then got elevated because they couldn't find a traditionally attractive looking woman in LA, apparently.
Tough.
I couldn't find a skinny white woman.
Well, Eric, I'm really glad that we're talking about the business and reality of reality TV. No, I really am, because competition shows and reality TV is one of the things that we love and talk about the most.
Yes.
And right now, a game that's giving me feelings is the Big Brother Survivor crossover event of my lifetime, which is Sari Fields, the best strategist and best player on Survivor of all time.
She's definitely up there.
She's certainly the best player to never win.
Yes, she's certainly the best player to ever win. She's elevated this because she is now, as many reality show people are, but I think Survivor had the most friction with this because Survivor feels like a game on itself. She's now going on other reality shows and crushing.
Yes. She invented a lot of the things that we now take for granted as a thing that happens on Survivor. Like
of being a quiet, cerebral person.
Exactly. Like being nice to everyone and they underestimate you. She invented the 3-2-1 vote split, meaning that if you have an alliance, instead of just putting all your votes on somebody, and then if they have an idol, those all get nullified and you're like, oopsie doodle, now one of us is going home.
I hate when I'm on Survivor and I say oopsie doodle.
Yeah. Instead, she was like, what if we put some on that person and some on another as a backup? She invented that.
Oh, she did? I didn't know that.
No, she's an incredible strategist. She dominated on The Traitor. She was on another show called Snake in the Grass and did a wonderful showing. Anyway, it was recently revealed on the live premiere of Big Brother, a show that I despise.
Sorry,
and watch.
I don't know what is. I couldn't.
Big Brother 25. Eric hates it. It's his trigger.
It's so bad.
Anyway, she's on Big Brother. She's the first Survivor player to ever be on Big Brother, which itself is interesting. You've observed, and I've learned through you and Hetty's fandom of The Challenge about the sort of reality TV star extended cinematic universe.
Yes, and Big Brother is where people start their reality show journey, usually not the other way around.
Exactly, and it used to be just randoms from America on a television show. Everyone's different. This one's conservative. This one's gay. And then, that's the television show.
To give some context, I think, to Big Brother, who those of you don't know, it is one of the traditional old school reality shows. The Real World is no longer on, right? But Big Brother, which is pretty much just a show about being in a house.
I'll say it. There's no skill.
For being in a house for an extended period of time and then slowly voting people out. It hasn't changed. It's been the same show for 25 years, and those shows don't exist anymore. Survivor is so different now than it was when it began. And I feel like so many reality shows, competition reality shows, one where there's a winner at the end, have popped up around it, and Big Brother has not changed.
No, it hasn't. But to your point, now a lot of people, who want to be influencers, who want to be professional television personalities, who want to, be a competitor, will start on Big Brother and then end up making a name for themselves on The Challenge, on Love Island. All these things are beginning to cross over more and more. But this is the the main thing. This is to, CBS juggernauts. It also has, of course, the whole backdrop of the writer's strike. They are doing 90-minute episodes. The season is 100 days. That's too long. They're extending
100 days?
Yep. It's going through November.
100 days? Like when I was in first grade, we had a celebration because it felt like so long?
Yeah, like you have a naming ceremony for your baby after 100 days because pretty sure that they'll survive past that. Yep. It's
Christianity's crazy.
Intense. It's intense. Anyway, this is absolutely a response in our workers' rights section of the podcast to the fact that the WGA and SAG-AFTRA are on strike, and unscripted shows are something that networks are plying and doing more of to, make money in the fall as they plan to not return to the negotiating table. So there's a rational backdrop for why this is happening. Yeah. I'm sure that they landed Suri because they knew it would spike ratings and they need that for ad money this fall. Hey, I'm one of them. It's an incredible crossover event. And the most important thing, the reason I actually like Big Brother is, unlike Survivor, where you watch, 42 minutes of a television show every week for, 15 episodes, and you get to see a selection, a version, a narrative of why a player is good and why they're strategic and, why they win. It's ultimately up to the editors what story they present. And, on Survivor, they're out there for 3-4 weeks. A lot of stuff happens that they don't get to show us. And on Big Brother, the whole thing is you watch 24/7 live feeds of the house. And yes, there's an edited show, but there's a whole community of people watching, analyzing, talking about why someone actually is as good as they are. Imagine if you only saw LeBron James's statistics and a highlight reel of his, some narrativized version of each game. And now you actually get to see him play each game.
But also the cameras are on LeBron at all times,
yes.
Not just while he's playing the game, but he's on a reality show constantly.
Yeah, and you get to see what he eats, how he talks to people, how he approaches deals, whatever. It's stunning. It's like you unearthed a daily diary of somebody that you only ever had third-hand accounts of before. I cannot emphasize how big a deal this is for the strategically minded competition reality TV community.
I just can't believe they're going to be watched for 100 days.
Yeah.
Imagine needing to be on point for 100 days in a row and have no private moments.
It's exhausting. Yeah.
That's terrifying.
Mm-hmm. I would never do it.
All right.
My worst nightmare.
I mean, Suri knows what she's signing up for. It's like she's going on a deep sea expedition.
Yes.
Or going to an oil rig.
Also, her son's there and they're pretending they don't know each other. And only one person, a lesbian flautist from New York City, knows that they are related.
I just want to say.
She's a rapper once said my flute was good. And that was her
God.
Character reel. It's a terrible show, but it's so compelling.
Okay, that's enough talking about the worst reality show on TV. So instead, let's talk about the real game that we're playing right now, which is the Tetris involving in us moving to a new apartment. Because as a husband and wife, we are legally required to talking about our lives because everyone's really interested in two people in a long-term committed relationship.
That's us. We had to move one block, and it was very frustrating. And you being able, Eric, to spatially orient how to get an awkward object upstairs was incredibly impressive. And my ability or attempt to fill boxes with equal distribution of weight and then find lighter items to fill up the volume made me feel like I was playing an inventory management game, but oh God, my muscles hurt because I have to actually lift the boxes too.
Yeah, the problem with the boxes that we were using, we ended up renting these boxes from these people called Gorilla Bins. So they were good. They're just really big and bulky, and they're supposed to be sturdy, right? The thing is, of course, you can't see in them because they're made out of heavy plastic. And there was small and then medium, which were actually large and very large.
Yes, I was I don't want to know what the large box is because the biggest one was my whole wingspan, and they called it medium. But I mean, if you filled that with anything except for newspaper or blankets, it was too heavy to move easily.
So when I end up picking up boxes that Amanda had packed, I'm like, oh, wow, some of these are light. And then I'm like, oh, I'm dead. I can't pick these up.
Yeah.
It was like a Mario Party minigame where it's like, oh, there's a bomb inside, but I don't know. And it was packed by my wife.
That's true. That's on me. It's my responsibility. And you exceeded at a course that was set up to help you fail, like on Mario Kart when you're too far ahead and the game is like, no, no, no.
He's right. True. Life was rubber banding me by giving us this move as well, especially because our landlord tried to kick us out of our apartment by raising our rent by $1,000, and we had to leave. And now we're in a new apartment. It was nice unpacking stuff. And I'm like, hey, yeah, I do have cool stuff.
I remember you. NES Classic in its box.
I remember you, N64. I spent a lot of money on eBay for. So no, it was nice. I mean, I'm glad it's over. We ended up moving for like a week. Truly. Yeah. We were like, so it was like one long avenue block away. So we ended up walking a lot of stuff over, like all of our books.
And by we, Eric means Eric. He did the vast majority of it.
And I walked over a lot of books in tote bags, and then I had to go up 2 flights of stairs, and then I had to go and redo that. And it was nice, and it was good that we didn't have to do it. It's just like, it felt like we were moving for straight 10 days, if not longer, because our apartment was in disarray for even longer than that.
Yeah.
We took apart our couch because we have one of those modular couches.
For millennials, yeah.
We have millennial modular couches, all form. There's probably a Hey Riddle Riddle discount code I can give you for that. And we took it apart, so we didn't have a couch for like 4 days because we had to stage it. And of course, like we tried to move because August 1st, which is when our lease was up, was a Tuesday. We moved on the Sunday before, so we still had the apartment. We didn't have a couch for 4 days.
Yeah.
We were sitting on a mattress with no sheet on it, watching our TV. The last thing we moved was our TV because it's so delicate. So we were watching a TV and playing Pikmin 4 on a bare mattress.
It truly felt like I was in a video game because I was like, okay, looking around, and it's like in Stardew Valley, Eric, in the wintertime, you have to feed your cows and chickens hay instead of grass, which they can like roam in the other seasons on their own. So on like the last few days of fall, you have to run around your farm harvesting all your grass so that you can turn it into hay for the wintertime. And it felt like I was doing that, grabbing any soft thing in our entire apartment, all of our winter socks, our sweaters, our duvets, our like blankets to pad the delicate stuff in the boxes.
Every single one of our towels. I was like, where are our towels? Why am I using one towel for 2 weeks? It's because they were all packed.
Yeah, but we ended up only really discarding like one trash bag full of like circulars from the supermarket because all the rest of the materials we used from our house. But now they're almost all back in their spot. We are doing the other video game thing of figuring out how to maximize all the corners of this oddly shaped like New York City apartment and make it good for us. But I feel like you really defeated the boss level of those stairs. There
needs to be an extension. There needs to be DLC of that game Unpacking, which is about the move as well and trying to hire movers. And like, if you can convince your friends and your dad to bring a truck over, and you have to use TaskRabbit and stuff, because man, it was ridiculous. Nothing is sadder when you're moving, when you see one skinny man walk out of a truck. It's just the
Eric
worst.
was like, oh no.
It was the worst.
Oh no.
Oh my God. Hey, it's Eric, and I brought you spring rolls that I got on an international flight. I'm feeling a little bit out of it because we are back in New York City from a wonderful time in the United Kingdom hanging out with Jasper in Manchester. The live show was awesome. Hanging out with Jasper was awesome. Keep your ear to the ground for the episode that Jasper and I recorded in person together. And of course, the live show audio from the performance with Amanda and Paul. It was really, really fun. So thank you everyone for supporting us. Thank you everyone who came out. It was just incredible. I mean, you've been supporting us so much, but you can keep supporting us at the Patreon, patreon.com/gamesandfeelings. And producer level patrons, Polly Burge, Kelsey Duffy, and Peyton never have any problems with jet lag. So I'm jealous, and I think that's really cool of you. It is a great day to try another show from the Multitude Podcast Collective. I think you'd like Exolore. Have you ever wondered what life would be on a planet different from our own, or how writers create your favorite fictional worlds? Well, wonder no longer, because everyone's favorite internet scientist, Dr. Moya McTeer, explores fictional worlds by building them with a panel of experts, interviewing professional world builders, or reviewing the merits of worlds that have already been built. You'll learn, you'll laugh, you'll gain an appreciation for how special our planet really is. Subscribe today by searching Exolore in your podcast app, or go to exolorepod.com. Exo like exoplanet, lore like stories. Exolore. We are sponsored this week by Ravensburger Cre-Art. Get it? Create, Cre-Art? That's what it sounds like. It's helpful because you're not just creating, you're creating with Ravensburger, and they're helping you create. Well, did you know that Ravensburger produces more than just the classic jigsaw puzzles and board games that we know so well? Introducing Cre-Art by Ravensburger, the ultimate painting by number experience. You'll find everything you need to start your artistic journey today with Ravensburger's carefully curated painting by number kits. Whether you're a seasoned artist or a beginner eager to explore the world of painting, these kits cater to all skill levels and ages. Embrace the therapeutic benefits of painting by number as you melt away the stresses of daily life and find solace in an act of creation without the pressures of a blank canvas. Honestly, that sounds great. Easily explore Ravensburger's wide selection of enchanting designs on Amazon, ranging from majestic landscapes to adorable animals and everything in between. Let your imagination run wild and embrace the joy of painting with Cre-Art by Ravensburger. Shop Cre-Art on Amazon today. We are also sponsored by Elderwood Academy, a group of artists making immersive and custom D&D accessories just for you. They're known for making their Hex Chest dice boxes and Spellbook gaming box family. We got a bunch of these sent over to the Multitude office, and they're really pretty. They look like books, and you can just slot your little dice in there. It just makes the D&D experience, or any tabletop experience, just a little bit more special when you have stuff from Elderwood Academy. They've been innovating creative and artistic gaming accessories since 2014, and they're here to support you and the community. They want you to be happy in your gaming life and support their items for life. If this sounds wonderful and you want to check them out, just use code FEELINGS for 10% off at elderwoodacademy.com. elderwoodacademy.com. Get 10% off if you use code FEELINGS for all of your custom D&D accessories. Okay, let's get back to the show.
Well, do you want to think about other people's problems for a little bit?
I want to be judgmental about other people's problems. The other thing that people come to Husband and Wife Podcast for.
Amazing. Okay. We are going to open with a question from Karen Feeding, Slate's parenting column, which, again, we don't dip into all the time, but when we do, it's worth it.
Slate, once again, the only media company propped up by advice.
Yep.
Very excited about this.
This is from July 2023, and the question goes, Dear Karen Feeding.
Oh, wait, sorry. Can I ask something?
Yeah.
At this point, have you noticed more recent advice questions in 2023 have been unhinged? Because I think this is related to the Barbenheimer experience.
Oh.
That people have realized that society has forgotten how to act in public. So people are like on their phones and talking and are really loud while watching Oppenheimer, which is a 3-hour movie, which they paid money for. So it's like, I wonder, there's a whole thing going around right now related to that. It's like, oh yeah, everyone forgot how to act in public.
Yes.
Because of the pandemic. Are you seeing that these advice questions, and I know that it's self-selecting because Slate publishes them, they have to be interesting, blah, blah, blah. Have you seen that these questions have gotten wilder because people have forgotten how to act?
I have, actually, and several questions too that I noticed as I was going through, the minds for this content is like, hey, so in 2020 I did move to Fiji to work remotely, and now my boss wants me to come in, and what do I do? Or like, hey, I did buy a condo in a panic, and now my boyfriend doesn't like it and wants to move in together, and should I sell my condo? There's a lot of I've kind of had shit on hold or in stasis for a couple of years, and now I sort of make some decisions, and what happens? So that's one version of that. But I've also noticed the sort of hey, is this thing that I saw someone do on the train, or is this thing that I did on the concert, or is charging my friends, rent for, something ridiculous that they didn't agree to? Is that cool?
Yeah. That's what I've been thinking. I wonder if this is going to be a renaissance of advice columns / podcasts.
Baby, we're right here.
People are becoming more crazy.
Yeah. We're right here.
And listen, all the people who write into Games and Feelings are beautiful, wonderful people who are always like, I'm worried I'm an asshole, and you never are.
The answer is you're probably fine.
But I wonder just these ones that we're culling from the internet, especially because more people have been sending in questions from RD&D or games of related questions from Am I the Asshole, especially now that Reddit is kind of back to full strength after not really sticking to their blackout. I'm just I'm interested to see how more people are asking, am I good? As you suggested.
Totally.
Okay. Karen Feeding, July 2023.
Let's do it.
Okay.
Dear Care and Feeding, my husband and I are pregnant with our first child, and we're thrilled. We're trying to decide who to ask to be the baby's godmother. My brother will be the godfather. And the only...
Oh, my God.
Oh, are you just getting worried?
No, I'm getting worried. I'm like, how is this related to games?
Oh, don't worry.
Oh, no.
The only two real options are my husband's sisters, Anne and Beth.
Can I ask you a question? Mm-hmm. What are God people supposed to do?
In theory, look after a child's spiritual life, at least in the Catholic Church.
Same.
But often it's who will be the guardian of the child if there's no family options and the parents die.
Got it. Okay.
So
well,
that's the idea.
Isn't it funny that you assign different godparents for different children?
It is ridiculous, in my opinion, because if something happens to, parents, their kids are... The hope is that they would stay together. So it is pretty ridiculous. In practice, I think for a lot of people, it ends up being like, which friends do I value the most? In the same way that like choosing people of honor for your wedding can like get political.
Right. You're trying to cast around for everyone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's why I think she's saying the only two real options are the husband sisters, because she is naming her brother the godfather.
Got it. I also think it's wild, that you're choosing from different buckets in your life for this.
Yeah, often godparents meet at the christening. Yeah. And you're like, how's this gonna work?
This is like pairing people up in wedding parties.
Yes,
it's like,
yes.
all right, this is my best friend from college, and this is my wife's older sister.
Exactly.
And you guys are going to do a funny dance for 30 seconds.
Or like it's Nola and my 38-year-old sister and my 22-year-old college roommate sister are also here.
Oh my God. But instead of a funny dance, you're taking care of a child together forever.
Yeah, you have to decide how important Catholicism is to this child's moral development.
It's true. Are you going to say that Jesus should be expressed through iconography or not through iconography?
Big question.
See, I know things about Christianity.
Perfect.
I know things.
So, in order to help us decide who to pick, I suggested to Anne and Beth that we have a fun contest.
No!
Eric, what do you think this contest is?
Keep going. I can't. Just keep going.
I was thinking something along the lines of a quiz on babies and baby care, which we could record and share with family online.
Yeah, let's turn this into content. That never goes bad.
The other thing I think, Eric, is millennials are aging and we are unhinged. And we grew up in an era of prank videos and flash mobs and blog posts and Facebook voyeurism. And now we're like, this is normal, and it's not.
I think that the aging process, though, has changed from the need to document everything and then now turn it into content. Mm-hmm. Because, I mean, I would not say that my Facebook photos from summer camp are content, but I sure did catalog them. But then you turn it into, like, consumable entertainment, and that's the problem. And that's what's turning us into cranks.
I think so too.
And then I'll start a parenting YouTube channel, and it's going to be great. This is my big break.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, God.
So, Anne seemed reluctant, and Beth outright refused, so I dropped it. The problem now is that Anne and Beth are both being chilly to me. Anne is one of my best friends, and while we still talk, she's been more distant in our chats.
Wait, I have a question.
Yep.
How do you think question asker and husband got together?
Great question.
Because Anne is husband's sister, yeah?
Yeah.
Do you think that Anne set up question asker with husband?
Oh, it's possible.
That's what I'm feeling. That's the vibe. Like, I was friends in college. Husband was older brother.
Right.
Older brother had a string of terrible girlfriends. Anne then said, oh, I know the perfect girl. My sister, it'd be so great that we were sister-in-laws. Then we will actually be sisters. And then it actually happened.
I love this headcanon, and I'm just like, I'm getting a little bit of hives from just like the social pressure of the situation.
They went to Wesleyan together, Amanda.
I was going to say Barnard, but that's better.
They went to Barnard together. They went to Mount Holyoke together.
There it is. Nailed it. Okay. My mother-in-law says it's because Anne and Beth have not always had a great relationship, and the idea of competing probably triggered something.
Yeah, how does question asker not know that?
I don't know either. And also, what a diplomatic answer from the mother-in-law. Oh, my God.
Beautiful. I mean, that's what you got to say to your husband's wife.
You can't say that was a fucked up thing to suggest.
Yeah.
Oh, boy.
Okay, so then I have that bucket, that first bucket.
Yeah.
I think that maybe Question Asker is saying, if she didn't know this, Question Asker is overstating the relationship she's having with her husband's sister, and they are now adult best friends.
Yeah.
But obviously not really that close. Or not really as close as she thinks that they are.
Yeah, I'm sure this configuration works really well for lots of people, but in this particular situation, I am definitely feeling some tension. Like, either you guys are best friends and Anne was like, what the fuck, why am I not the choice? Or B, you are not best friends and Anne is like, wow, this was a lot, and doesn't really know how to like address that with you, because it's not just a friend relationship. This is your sister-in-law.
I can see another version of this, which is like, for some reason, Beth thinks she's going to be the god sister. Is that...
Godmother.
Thank you. For some reason, Beth thinks she's going to be the godmother, so instead I need to set up a competition so I can give it to Anne without conflict. So I set up a game, and Anne is totally down, and then the answer would be, no, that was a mean thing to do. Don't do that. That's weird. But this is a different situation.
Mm-hmm. I think you're right. So the rest of the question was, I didn't think that there would be an issue because they made up over a year ago. That's not very long ago.
And also, they made up as adults after a lifetime of tension.
Not a long time ago at all.
Oh, my God.
My husband says just to drop it and that Anne and Beth will warm up when it's closer to my due date. But I'm kind of annoyed at both of them because I don't think I did anything wrong. How should I approach this? Signed, just want the best for the baby.
What a cop-out name. What a cop-out name they gave. Oh, God. Yeah, husband is like, I don't get involved with the squabbles of my sisters. Just ignore it. And, women, they sure do love a pregnant lady.
I don't know, dude. I'm also in my head, I'm like, are you 18 weeks pregnant? Is this so before the child is imminent that you're sort of getting ahead of the curve? I don't know if that's relevant at all.
Yeah, no, I think so. I think 18 weeks is she's showing a little bit.
Right. And I don't know, dude. I think it was a very bad idea. I'm sure a lot of people feel a lot of pressure about disappointing others when, it's choosing a wedding party, choosing godparents. It's a big thing. But it's saying, I don't know, we're going to have a contest, and whichever of you has read Dr. Spock's manual more closely, and we share the videos of your answers with the entire family, we'll get to be our child's godparent for life? It's fucked up, dude.
No, this is just blatantly fucked up.
Yeah, and the answer from the Care and Feeding columnist, it is a rotating selection of people. This answerer is Jamila Lemieux, said basically I don't think you did anything wrong, but you should have considered that a competition, even a lighthearted one, between two sisters who don't get along super well might trigger some issues.
Oh, Jamila sounds like a real nice person.
Jamila sounds like a very nice person. Yeah, and just choose later, apologize to whoever you don't select, and they'll get over it.
Yeah. The thing that I said is if I really wanted to give a PR response to Question Asker, I'd be like, hey, blame it on pregnancy brain. Say I was stressed out because I didn't know who to choose. And I know, and I didn't want to cause any problems, so I did this.
And you're also so important to me, and yeah.
Yeah, and I did this, and it really spiraled out of control, and I'm sorry, so I'm choosing Anne. I didn't know how to tell you, so I fucked up, and I hope you forgive me. Yeah,
that's a great apology, and I think that letter writer should do it.
Letter writer won't, because she's not a nice person!
Nope.
Not a nice person!
No, she won't.
No, she's not.
No, she won't.
Okay. Oh. You really hit me with a haymaker here. You really started out tough.
Well,
you led with Slate, which is here's the weirdest person on the subway, hitting you with them immediately.
Well, I have the opposite of Slate next, which is Dr. Kwame Anthony Appiah with the New York Times' ethicist column.
Right.
Next.
Good. Then I can be judgmental about people, and then I can learn about ethics at the same time.
There you go. All right, Eric, here is a very topical question for you. This is from earlier this summer, from late June 2023, from the Ethicist column. And it's titled, "We have a Taylor Swift concert crisis. How do we solve it?"
How is this related to games?
Well, Eric, it is the game of capitalism and the free market, but also
of course,
a game of chance.
Oh, okay. There's a game of chance. I didn't know that was going to happen. Okay. Okay, here we go. Also, I have not been I have not tried to get tickets.
No.
I don't know how is this relevant? How is this topical to me? Just that it was happening.
Topical to society in that like Beyonce's tour and the Taylor Swift tour has been like a huge topic of conversation, like getting tickets, Ticketmaster, like what are the, you know, just the whole broader picture.
Luckily, I can get Guster and Mountain Goats tickets whenever I want, and it's not that big of a problem. Mm-hmm. It's fine. They're at the City Winery in a few months, and it's fine.
Yep. So this is the question. Because of the challenges with Ticketmaster in the fall, 3 friends and I were able to buy only 2 tickets to the Taylor Swift Eras Tour during the original sale.
That's so tough. I cannot believe that they were only able to get 2. Fuck Ticketmaster, man.
Seriously. Our dilemma is how to decide which 2 of the 4 of us get to go to the concert. Though all 4 of us would love to go, one friend and I are arguably the biggest Swifties of the group.
No, that's not a relevant way to choose. That's a suggestion. That is an opinion.
That said, I already attended an Eras Tour concert last month with my family. I would still love to go again, but maybe I should recuse myself given that my 3 friends haven't been. It's also worth noting there was an unequal effort put into procuring the tickets. For example, 2 of my friends didn't submit to be entered for registered fan status. We all know about this now, which would have improved our odds of getting tickets. Is there a fair way to divide the tickets, or is the best option to choose a random number generator? Signed, Anonymous.
Okay. What would you like me to do?
How would you resolve the situation? Then we'll get into Dr. Apaya's answer.
What I would do is I would say the people who actually bought them, who got the tickets, get to choose.
I totally agree.
I think that you need to use an objective measure. It's not the most fair necessarily, but a undisputable fact of truth.
Yeah.
The people who actually got to buy the tickets get it. I think that I wonder why question, and I assume that it's woman. Because look at the image is also 4 girlies.
It is, yeah. The image is incredible. It's 4 girlies, one of whom is dressed like Barbie, one of whom has a t-shirt that says "We're never getting back together."
It's very funny.
Thank you. Shout out Tomi who did the illustration.
Really good illustration. I'm like, oh yeah, those 4 are definitely going to a Taylor Swift concert, 100%. Yeah. And then they're going to see Barbie after
One of them has mismatching earrings and like a matched set, like a short tank set. They're very stylish.
Yeah. And the yellow earring matches her outfit, and the red earring matches her sneakers.
And the girlie's hat. So they're accessorized, dude.
Yeah, they are matching.
Damn. Okay. I'm going to go follow Tomi on Instagram. Excuse me.
Okay. While Amanda's doing that, I'm going to say that the people who bought the tickets get first dibs. I also think it would be magnanimous of the person who's already seen the concert to give it to her friends. I think this would be a massive win and a favor she can bank later. And I don't know why. Is it really more important for her to see Taylor Swift a second time than bank the favor, than look like an incredible person?
I totally agree.
I just don't understand that. Can we go through all of the things that this woman suggested?
Yes.
And I can say whether or not that's legitimate or not.
All right. So the first thing you've already passed judgment on, which I completely agree, which is...
one friend and I are the biggest Swifties.
Yeah.
That doesn't mean anything, especially because these concerts are seen and be seen things.
Yes.
It's also a status symbol. It doesn't matter if you love Taylor Swift the most. It is about the going to the concert. Everyone equally wants to go to the concert. That doesn't count.
Exactly. The second thing, which I agree with the letter writer on, I'll say up front, is that she already attended a concert and thinks that she should probably recuse herself.
She should. I don't know why she isn't.
Yes. And then third, there was an unequal effort put into procuring the tickets. 2 people did not do registered fan. It sounds like 2 people did. And my assumption is that it's either letter writer or the friend who is also a big Swiftie that hasn't seen the concert who actually like put the tickets on their credit card and got the tickets.
Right. And I think that's fair, but I'm surprised. Like, the registered fan thing feels like something you tell the group. It's like, if we want to go to this, we need to put the effort in to put ourselves first. And maybe that's because you and I are type A people and really do this a lot.
Well, I was going to say, we've been in the situation before with our friends before, and like your, friend group from college is like very organized. They're great at like submitting for, free tickets or getting things. And we've been in situations before where it's like, okay, it opens at this time. We're all going to try to get it. And then just like tell the group if you manage to get it. Or if we end up with too many, we'll sell the others. It's fine. We'll figure it out. Never with like a high stakes situation like this.
We've never not gotten the number of tickets we were looking for.
Occasionally it's been like, okay, we have a spare and, someone can invite someone and we'll figure it out. Like we coordinate. And it sounds like they either didn't or everyone's like, we'll try. And then, the only person who was successful was one person for 2 tickets.
Okay. So then the remaining stuff is there a fair way to distribute the tickets? No. But I think that what should happen are the 2 people who get to go to the concert, congratulations, and the 2 people who don't get a favor banked.
Yeah.
Like, just say it. Just give them a little points. Give the people who don't get to go some points.
Exactly. Like, even the random number generator is probably like the fairest, if you put it that way.
Yes. And I think that's what the ethicist is going to say.
Okay, interesting. We'll see in just a minute. But I think it could lead to the most hurt feelings where, listen, if this was our situation, I'd be like, listen, whoever actually got it, whether it was chance or effort, it doesn't matter. Like, you got the tickets on your credit card. I think one is obviously yours, whoever actually purchased them. I can't imagine if I successfully purchased them and then it's like, oh, okay, those 2 people are going to go instead. Like, they weren't all sitting together in a room at a laptop, got 2, and then are like, what do we do now?
Well, now, here's what I'm thinking, is that question asker should not go.
Yes.
The person, the biggest Swiftie, who also seems to have put the work in and probably got it on her credit card, and then probably got the ticket.
Yes.
I think should go. And then maybe a random number generator for the other 2. And then the other one gets something else.
Yeah.
First dibs on whatever.
Totally. Everyone pools to like get her something nice.
Yeah. Because it's like if they don't like it as much, they'll be less hurt if they don't get to go. And then they get to do something else first dibs that they get to drop whenever they want.
I agree with you. You want to see what Dr. Apaya said?
Yes.
All right. From the ethicist. How should scarce goods be allocated? See, you thought the Karl Marx thing wasn't going to come back. It did. Okay. Some people endorse the principle that in a formula that emerged in the 19th century as a core communist ideal,
let's go.
We should give, quote, to each according to their needs. The need principle may lie behind the implication that the ticket should go to the 2, quote, biggest Swifties. And also perhaps the implication that, having already attended a concert in this tour, you may have to recuse yourself. Then there's the idea, central to utilitarianism, that goods should go to those who will get the most use out of them. This line of thought may explain why you're uncertain about that act of self-recusal. A very different idea is that goods should go to those who put in the work of getting them. John Locke famously proposed more than 3 centuries ago that land belonged to those who had, quote, mixed their labor with it. See also The Little Red Hen and Her Bread. What is that? Do you know that fable?
I don't know that, but
me neither.
It sounds like a fable. This explains the thing John Locke said. John Locke and I are boys, apparently.
John Locke says a lot of things that make a lot of sense, and that's what Amanda thought in high school debate. Every Lincoln Douglas speech, I was like, John Locke famously talked about the social contract or whatever.
I gotta start bringing out these for Head Heart Gut.
Right?
I'm really not addressing this.
I highly enjoyed this newsletter. Like, I unironically highly enjoy these columns. Okay, that's presumably why you mentioned the unequal effort your friends put in. So like you put in more, work, you should get the reward. I'm skeptical, though, that these various approaches will yield an amicable resolution. Who has the greatest need? Who would get the most out of it? Who put in the most effort? You're unlikely to agree on these things.
Yeah, exactly.
Even if you could, you'd have to decide which principle you should follow. Or if you feel the pull of more than one, how you should balance those principles. And by the way, would such principles let you limit the possible recipients to the 4 of you? There will always be people out there with greater needs, people who would get more out of the concert, people who labored harder, if less successfully, at ticket procurement. Given these perplexities, I'm drawn to your final suggestion. But you don't need a random number generator. A round of rock, paper, scissors should suffice.
Yeah, that's a good philosopher to say, actually, don't do any philosophy. Just do random stuff. Do not try to pick a philosophy.
It's kind of brilliant.
I just think so here's the games and feelings part of it. I do not think you should do rock, paper, scissors.
Oh my God, thank you. Me too. I was like, I would think about that paper for the rest of my life.
Exactly. It would put blame upon someone competing. It's not a competition. It needs to be truly random.
I completely agree. Oh, I knew you would know the right answer, the right game to resolve this dispute with. And the answer is not a game.
Not a game.
Not
do not
a game
do a
at
game.
all. No.
Do not do a game. I just spied, if you scroll down in this newsletter, last week, the question was about friends taking Ozempic.
Yeah.
Which, for those of you who don't know, it's a drug that famous people take to lose weight, but really it's kidney medication.
I'm not sure what the on-label use is.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's tough. The person was like, I don't think this is a good idea or safe, and we're all going on a trip to the beach, and I'm worried that they're going to be like, ooh, like compliment me. And there's just a lot tied up in there.
Wild.
But as you point out, Eric, each newsletter comes with reader responses to the newsletter before. So this is always my favorite part. As measured and helpful as Dr. Apaya's answers are, the New York Times columnist responses are not.
I love that there's somewhere like the editor was like, hey, Dr. Apaya, so excited for you to come on.
Yeah.
And Dr. Apaya was like, I'm really excited to bring ethics and philosophy to the larger audience of the Great Lady. This is a real opportunity to bring philosophy into the 21st century. And the editor's like, yeah, shut up. So we're buying The Athletic, and also we're the second half of your column is going to be questions from the single most unhinged people on the left-leaning internet. Okay? Great. So excited for you to write your essays every week.
Yep. I'm going to read you the representative example, Eric, here in our final minutes. The best way to handle this dilemma is for the letter writer to recuse themselves and the remaining friends buy a third expensive ticket and split the cost into 3, ensuring everyone gets to go.
Whoa, that's a great idea. I know that's really expensive, but I'm also assuming that she wrote it in the New York Times and these people can afford it. That's a really good idea.
Yeah, this is from Kathy, and she says if there's a money problem, they could figure out ways to fundraise to cover the cost of the expensive one.
Okay, Kathy.
Everyone shares. Kathy read about GoFundMe in the paper. Everyone shares the expense and the experience. If the third friend doesn't go, they'll always remember being left out.
Just do a bake sale.
Yeah, I know, exactly. I genuinely love this idea from Kathy.
It's
Good
a
job.
really good idea, Kathy.
Yeah. And then a commenter named Tony was also like, listen, rock, paper, scissors has gamesmanship and it could become personal, which I thought was something that you might say.
Yeah. Thanks, Tone.
Thanks, Tone.
All right. I think we have a few minutes left. Can we do one really quick?
Yes, we can. I'm so glad you asked, because I have a good question here from Autostraddle, which has its own queer femme advice column. Autostraddle's been going through a lot of workers' rights situations recently, and
Didn't
we don't have time for it.
Did we answer a question on here saying don't go on Autostraddle at your job?
Yes, we did. You don't ask the IT department to unblock Autostraddle.
Right.
Yes. So this is from earlier in 2023, and the question is, what's a good way to pivot when a party you planned that was supposed to be large, like 10 to 15 people, ends up being quite small with just 3 to 4 people?
Ooh, okay.
So one thing is, I think, like, it was supposed to be a vampire-themed costume party, and now just 3 to 4 guests are coming that don't know each other. So I wondered if you thought any, like, icebreaker games or video games, like a Mario Kart tournament. I feel like this is a real opportunity for a game to bring people together and let folks relate over something that isn't just like, oh, well, I know Jessica from work, and I know Jessica from this.
Yeah, I think that you can't have a party necessarily, but this is an opportunity to start playing games. I am always the kind of person who wants to pivot to watching a movie a lot anyway.
Yes.
Or just playing games anyway. So I think everyone should dress up like vampires still. Because that makes everything extra funny. And then just like could play Jackbox. You could play like Gartic Phone or Telestrations, one of the like draw something and it's funny for other people. Mario Kart. Everything. You could do any party game. Just do it while wearing vampire outfits.
Incredibly fun. Or one of the columnists' suggestions was watch vampire episodes of your favorite shows, which I think we did for a recent holiday for either like Thanksgiving.
It was Thanksgiving because there are a lot of sitcoms actually do really good Thanksgiving episodes.
So how fun would that be, doing like vampire episodes of like 3 different shows?
I just think this is an opportunity to like not have a capital P party.
Exactly.
Like everyone hangs out and drinks and just talks to each other. Like take the opportunity to do something.
Themed activity.
Yeah. Yeah.
Good idea.
Was one of the suggestions go to a cemetery?
It was. It was go to a cemetery and do a photo shoot of your vampire costumes.
Yeah, plan an excursion. I think that I'm looking and it said like, I'm actually not upset that no one could come to my party, but this is a really good opportunity to flex on everyone else and do something really dumb.
Yeah, the question writer also said, like, honestly, even if everyone canceled, I'd still do it and have a good time. So like, they're down, they're having a nice time. I think you're exactly right. Like, bringing people along, doing a shared activity is a wonderful idea.
Would it be funny for everyone to go to Barbie together dressed as vampire? Just go to a movie.
Yes. That's a great idea.
I don't know when this is out. I don't know when this episode's coming out, but just go to a movie all dressed as vampires that has either is on theme or is not on theme.
Incredible.
Wouldn't that be funny?
Oh,
or like
perfect.
go out, not to a bar necessarily, but go to like Margaritaville or Olive Garden, right? All
incredible.
dressed as vampires.
Go to TGI Fridays dressed as vampires. I love that.
Wouldn't that be fun?
Incredible.
That would be very fun.
Good work, Eric.
Thank you. All right, we got to go. We have to go unpack our apartment.
True.
So we got to go. Amanda, where can people find you on the internet?
I'm at She's So Mickey, and we're doing tight shit on Join the Party. I've also really been enjoying Tell Me About It, Eric. I really loved your recent episodes. One on Sondheim was tight as hell. Love all the stuff coming out on Tell Me About It. So listen to all of Multitudes podcasts.
Wow. Well, you can find me. Also, I was on Spirits recently, and Spirits is going well. I like Spirits. Spirits is a good podcast.
Thanks, honey. You did a great Monster Who Sell You Stuff bracket, and it was very gamesy. And if you don't listen to Spirits and you maybe want to try or just listen to Eric on a different show, it's a great one for you.
We talked about a lot of sports monsters, which was actually very fun.
It was very fun.
And also follow me on TikTok, Eric the Silver. A lot of tabletop RPG stuff over there.
You may see like my nails or like the back of my shoulder.
I know. Amanda might be in it. And maybe I'll post that bisexual TikTok you asked me to do.
Cool.
While I surprise you by holding my phone up to your face.
Incredible.
I just do that to Julia.
You're too nice to do it to me.
I cut in a moment of me getting too close to Julia with my phone constantly. All right. Amanda, and as we say at the end of every episode of the replay,
dress as a vampire sometimes.
Go out and dress as a vampire. Bye.
Bye.
Games and Feelings is produced by Eric Silver and edited and mixed by Mischa Stanton. The theme music is Return to French Toast Castle by Jeff Bryce, and the art was created by Jessica Boyd. Find transcripts for this episode and all episodes at our website, gamesandfeelings.com. Until next time, press X to enjoy the podcast.